Now, a controversial new reality series started on Channel 4 just last night, following 12 adult virgins on a quest to learn more about sex and intimacy. So here is our kind of daytime-friendly look at what happened. Well, new research has found that 1 in 8 young people haven't had sex by the time they turn 26. And apparently, the main barrier to intimacy is lack of confidence and self-esteem. So, you know, is there maybe too much pressure on losing your virginity when you're young? Because, you know, it's a lot of peer pressure. A lot of young people talk about, sometimes they go, I wasn't quite ready, but everyone else was doing it. Do you think there's too much pressure for people?
I think that term, losing your virginity, is the problem. And that's a social construct. And what worries me is that, and we have done forever, used that as a benchmark for self-worth and what's normal. And if we remove that term, I don't think we'd have as many problems. But, yeah, I mean, I lost my virginity too young, I feel now, and it was purely out of peer pressure because everybody was talking about it, you know, and it's just like you felt that you had to do it.
Isn't that just what kids, young people do? I mean,
isn't it?
at school.
Absolutely. But I just think that I think we should ban that term, losing
your...
your...
Yeah, but you do lose it, because you never get it back, do you? Well, no,
all the time. You do lose it.
But also, they'll just replace it with a new term. I mean, it's an age-old sort of myth. I came from an all-girls school, and it was all we talked about was who's going to lose their virginity first and how is it going to happen and who's going to... It was almost like a race, and if you didn't want to come last, you didn't want to be the person at the very end of that. Oh, God. God, be so careful what you say, don't you? You don't want to be the last person in that.
Definitely. I don't know if that is something about all girls, because I was at all girls school.
Yeah.
And literally, at a certain age and up, that's all girls talked about. And the older girls, you know, we would all be like, oh, what happens? And the things that they tell you, so not true.
So not true.
But we're all hanging on their every word. And I agree with you. I think we felt, as young women, younger girls, that it was like that made you really grown up and also desirable. And they talked last night in the documentary about desire. And so many of the young people in the show, I really felt for them. They had such lack of confidence, self-esteem, and that is one of, they say, the highest barrier for people who are still virgins in their late teens and early 20s and 30s, is because they lack confidence. But I think, you know, you want to be desirable often to other people.
Ruth, do you want to be desirable, having watched that programme last night and you had sex therapists, I don't know what qualifications they have, and you had what I assume would be sex surrogates who actually are physical with you and help you lose that said virginity. I mean, how ethical is that?
Well, some of them couldn't even touch hands, Sue. And Channel 4 have said, you know, the production follows strict safeguarding protocols. All intimacy work was overseen by accredited experts with experience in therapeutic and trauma-informed practices. So some of them were literally like, can you just touch my hand?
Yeah.
And they're facilitators.
So many of them were just...
there was more as well, and that area I know is like it's a very grey area when you get involved with that. And I think
that scene of the therapist, she was saying...
That's the therapist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but some of those people...
What a job!
But some of those people may never, ever experience human touch because they've been bullied or they don't see themselves as being attractive to the opposite sex, or they haven't got...
Exactly.
You've got
vulnerable people there, and there is a power dynamic and a power exchange, and I just think that is quite dangerous. And
everyone's consenting, though. They do know this.
Are they? When somebody's that vulnerable and that unsure of themselves and frightened and have fear around sex, is it a good way of doing it on Channel 4?
Wait.
Well, they said it was
about
consent.
vulnerable, shy people who've never been touched and they're worried and blah, 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 and they're embarrassed and all that, but they sign up to a TV show.
Well, this is...
yeah, but then...
That's the only way they can...
Maybe that is the only way they
experiment.
feel... It is a social experiment. And they said here, Channel 4 have said all contributors left the island feeling they had benefited from the experience. It was consent-based filming. Well, this was early. That was programme 1.
Episode,
we did, it was the first episode. Consent-based filming at every stage, and they had access to support during and after filming, and that support remains ongoing.
Yeah.
So they're saying we're giving them a safe space. Now, they know it's a TV show, really. I mean, I found it fascinating. I couldn't, unfortunately, watch it right to the end. I saw the first bit, and I just thought... I felt very much for those people that they were really struggling with their self-esteem.
That is sad.
I took away from it, it's their self-esteem, essentially, which they need help with. And then intimacy probably will come from that. Anyway, it was fascinating.
She doesn't let me talk in that topic because she knows I can't.
It was really fascinating if you haven't seen it. And thank you, Channel 4, for your comments as well.